Hi, this screencast is the second part of the dimensional analysis series of videos. So today we're going to move into some more complex conversion problems. So just to review, in the last screencast we converted units in 1 or 2 steps. So remember the problem where we were trying to pick the shorter race between 26.2 miles and 35 kilometers. And so we had a given conversion factor, 0.625 miles equals 1 kilometer, and we used that to solve our problem. So we ended up finding that 35 kilometers was actually 21.9 miles, and 26.2 miles was actually 41.9 kilometers. So we used a defined conversion factor, the 0.625 miles equals 1 kilometer, to cancel units. And we talked about the fact that we could have 0.625 miles over 1 kilometer, or we could have 1 kilometer over 0.625 miles. We could set that fraction up either way depending on how we needed to cancel our units. So now we're going to add another level of complexity. So if, say for example, you are driving on the interstate. How fast are you going? So let's say you're following the speed limit sort of at 70 miles per hour. How fast is that in feet per second? Okay, so to do this, we're going to take 70 miles per hour. So we write miles over hour. That's the first thing I want you to take note of. Whenever you hear that word per, miles per hour, I want you to write the first unit on the top, the second unit on the bottom. So we've got 70 miles over hours. And this is a complex conversion because we have to change from miles to feet, and we have to also change from hours to seconds. So we have to change the unit on the top of the fraction as well as on the bottom of the fraction. So I'm going to convert 1 mile into 5,280 feet. So mile will cancel. And now I have the unit feet on top, which is good because that's the unit I'm looking for on the top of my fraction. So now I'm going to address the bottom of my fraction. I want seconds, but I'm given hours. So if I want hours to cancel, now it has to go on the top of my next fraction. And I know that in 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. And I also know that 1 minute is made up of 60 seconds. So when I do the math, I can ignore all of my ones because dividing by 1 and multiplying by 1 does not change the number. So in my calculator, I'm going to enter 70 times 5,280 divided by 60 divided by 60. And when I do that, I get an answer of 103 feet per second. Please note, it does not matter what order I change the units. I chose to do the top first. When I do these problems, I always convert my top unit and then I convert my bottom unit. If you want to convert the bottom unit first and then convert the top unit, it makes no difference. Okay? Either way, you should get the correct answer. So let's do a practice problem. How fast can you run the 100-meter dash in miles per hour? We're going to use Usain Bolt as our example. He ran the 100-meter dash in 9.58 seconds. So some factors that we need to be able to solve this problem. We need to know that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. We need to know that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. And we also need to know that there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Okay, so let's take a look. The first thing we want to do is make the distance per time into one number. So if we look back, he ran 100 meters in 9.58 seconds. So that's 10.4 meters in 1 second. Okay, our next step is to convert the units. So I'm going to take my 10.4 meters per second and I'm going to use these other factors to convert it to miles per hour. So I want meters to cancel. So I need meters to go on the bottom of my next fraction, which means I'm going to be using this 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So that's going to be my next step. From there, I want to cancel meters. And now I have centimeters, and I want to be able to convert from centimeters to get somewhere close to miles. So I'm going to put centimeters on the bottom of my next fraction, and I'm going to be using this conversion factor. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So when I do that, centimeters cancels, and now I have inch. Well, I see my next factor that I have listed is 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. So what can I do to convert from inches to be able to use this conversion factor? That's right, I need to convert from inches to feet. So I know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot, so inches can cancel out now. And now I can do my last conversion factor to convert from meters to miles with 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. So now I have successfully converted from meters to miles, and now I'm going to change my focus to seconds, and I want to convert that to hours. So I'm going to put seconds on the top of my next fraction, and I know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So I have my numbers follow my unit. Seconds will cancel. Now I have 1 minute on the bottom, but again, I'm not looking for minutes, I'm looking for hours. And I know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So now to solve my problem, now that I've successfully converted from meters to miles and from seconds to hours, I'm going to plug these numbers into my calculator. And to do that, I'm going to take 10.4 times 100 divided by 2.54, divided by 12, divided by 5,280, times 60, times 60. Remember, we can ignore the ones because multiplying and dividing by 1 does not change the number. And when I plug my numbers in, I get an answer of 23.3 miles per hour. Now I'd like you to try. Try to solve this problem. The land speed record for 1947 was 394.19 miles per hour. Convert this to kilometers per second. Some of the factors that you will need for this are that 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters, 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, 2.54 centimeters equals 1 inch, and 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. Make note of any questions you have and show your notes, your practice problem, and questions to Mrs. Benke.